My name is Antonio Reid. I work in association with the Environmental Coffee House, that's Sandy Chalice's project on Facebook. I wanted to make this video because I live in North Carolina, Winston-Salem. I live about 4.5, 5 hours from our coastline, which I've been told is looking from the weather reports, is being devastated, actually, as we speak. I've also looked at the model projections for the total accumulated rainfall for my region. We are expected throughout over 65% of the state of North Carolina to experience what's considered either severe or catastrophic rainfall. On the coast, getting closer to 20 to 30 inches. The middle of the state, where I live, the capital, is estimated to get anywhere between 8 to 12 inches. And some areas in the mountain will be getting somewhere between 5 to 14 inches. So it really doesn't matter where you are in North Carolina, the vast majority of the state is going to be experiencing historic rainfall totals. If the model projections are correct, by next Wednesday, North Carolina will have experienced a tragedy or a disaster, and likes which we haven't seen since the Civil War. And it's likely that in terms of cost and destruction, it will be beyond what we saw in the Civil War when General Sherman came down to North Carolina and burned down Charlotte. Today, we're not talking about burning our cities down, but flooding them out. I do have friends, I do have families, and I do have memories across the state. And now it seems like regardless of what city and what part of the state, they all are in danger today and will be for the next several days. I'll continue to do reports. Right now it's honestly a beautiful day. I think it's about 80 degrees with a nice wind, got overcast skies, some partly cloudy skies, some sun breaking through. But they say that into tomorrow we should be under tomorrow morning when I wake up, we should be fully under the storm by that case, and the rain will have started with no sign of stopping until sometime next week, early next week, hopefully. This rain, by Sunday, the rain totals are supposed to get up in my area over 12 inches. I told Sandy Chalice when I visited her and Hambone in New York, there was an episode about a week or two before I did, where we experienced a very short rainstorm that lasted for about 20 minutes. It only lasted 20 minutes. I honestly don't know how much rain fell in that 20 minutes, but I saw my backyard flood in a way I've never seen it flood in the last 15 years. So if that was any indication of what's to come, we don't have an evacuation plan. And at this point, if we were to evacuate it, we would have to leave the state. Considering that, according to the models, 65–70% of the state will be facing anywhere between severe and catastrophic flooding. So that doesn't really give my family or myself a lot of choices here. But I will continue to report. I will continue to update you guys on the situation. So far, there's not a lot of panic in people's eyes that I see, but you know, people are scouring. They get their last food supplies, water supplies, first aid, emergency supplies, and preparing for the storm. My next video log is going to be this weekend. I don't know what day. Probably Saturday, because we'll be in the full midst of it by then. But I did just want to do a short little video from central North Carolina, letting you know kind of before we go into the storm, the mindset of people around here and my own mindset. I feel safe, I feel secure right now, but that could very well change in the next couple of days. Hopefully, well, I don't even want to say hopefully, because I don't want the people of South Carolina to face what we are projected to face. And it's too late now for it to go back in the ocean. So for the people out there who are facing this emergency, my own statesman, all I can say is that I am with you. we have to remember to put this in some type of context. There are wildfires burning on the west coast of the United States. There are wildfires burning in British Columbia. There are wildfires burning in Siberia. There's a mega typhoon packing winds of 170 miles an hour burrowing toward the Philippines and Hong Kong. So we're not alone in this. Our entire world is going into a state of climate crisis, and we should start to see some major impacts in the next year or two into the year 2020 and beyond. I was just reading an article yesterday. Antonio Reid, the UN chief, the Secretary General, warning that our world is in chaos and that we have 1.5 years, which I think is a total joke. That can't be true. I don't even know how scientifically that could be true. But he says that we have 1.5 years to avert catastrophe. The only thing I would say to Antonio Reid is that the people of North Carolina don't have 1.5 years to avert catastrophe. Catastrophe is occurring right now, today, on our coast. Thank you.